Welcome to another edition of What the Fuck? Happenings in the YouTube Atheist Community and Stick Having Fun. Outside in the garden edition. The deers just decimated my tomatoes. Bastards. Went on the ground there. Fucking shit. I don't know, you just can't, this looks pretty secure. I guess they must have pushed their way in through there. I don't know. I haven't found how they got in yet. Looks all pretty solid. Yeah, so I don't know. But, they really made a mess. I don't think they could get in through there. But they broke all these poor marigolds and whatnot. Just a horrible mess. Anyway, it's discouraging. Ate all the flowers here, of course. But they got my tomatoes. Yes. Damn it. Anyway. Just really sucks. Yeah, it just sucks. That's all I'll say. So anyway, news. Really isn't much of that. Last night, I guess I didn't say something like Tiny Chat Fun or something. Yeah, it was kind of a nothing evening, I suppose. Actually did talk to Piro, which was weird. But, it's just this idiotic argument where, he's apparently not going to concede that neurology is the source of the function of consciousness. And he's going to pretend that microorganisms, have an active psychological life. And maybe they even get depressed. It's just a little tiny bit. Yeah. Anyway, just hopeless. Hopeless. So Paul's ego came into the room, so that was nice to hear from Paul. Anyway, didn't really talk about much. Just kind of a little bit of social commentary. Got a little depressed and said, "Oh well, it's enough of that." So not much there. Had some conversation with Das Pook during the week in different moments and different times, and it's been tolerable. We seem to be able to communicate without getting too hostile, which is good. But again, it's I don't find the conversation at all. It just seems idiotic to have to go through all this crap of explaining the context of our existence with people who seem bent on rewriting a narrative, coming up with a fairy tale, some kind of story that makes it much more glamorous, and it's just all circular. It's just to justify it, just to come up with some rationalization that seems to say it's inevitable and it has to happen, and it's and so the only thing to talk about is some sort of band-aid solutions to the fundamental problem, which is the nature of the game itself. So it just all seems like a bunch of nonsense. These came out quite lovely. Yeah, really very nice. Got some dead ones over. These are nice too. I'll clean up the dead ones first. And it's fairly nice looking. It's just very disheartening to have to waste time with intelligent people on nonsense. So the good news is, working on the Vlogger show. It's going to air a couple times in Chicago. I'm going to submit it as a public access show here eventually, when I get a couple episodes done. And we'll see what happens, see if it gains any traction. I think it's a good idea. It's a format for presenting philosophical issues and stimulating debate and whatnot. But again, if the debate is always going to get driven down, bogged down in what are essentially religious theories of, magical parameciums and spirituality and love and glorification of the aesthetic pleasures that humans enjoy, instead of just recognizing them for what they are, which is the comforting of a hunger, a state of deprivation and need that must come first. Just no recognition of the basic function of the mechanism. So that just the conversation just gets very, been there, done that, been there, done that. So hopefully that's part of the thing the show will eliminate, is there'll be some sort of premise for which people can't just play this game of, make it up and pretend it's all okay and all that kind of mush. So what else? I sort of had that in the room last night. Some guy came in who I've talked to before, and he's sympathetic with much of the prevent harm philosophy, but he just can't deal with the give up. We can't give up. We must somehow remanufacture this thing into something, or somehow we can make life a profitable business. We shouldn't just concede that you don't need blacksmiths if you don't enslave horses or something like that. We're only serving a need that is merely a perception in people's head. There's no real need that you can identify in the universe or in the circumstances of the universe. We're not the cure for any disease that the universe has, and we're more likely to be fairly described as a causer of harm rather than a solver of harm. It's just that same don't give up kind of argument, where just deny the truth because it's unpleasant to accept that it's a game you can't win, and this just some sort of trivial ego problem where they just can't admit it's time to say it's time to end the game. You're lost. I mean, many games have time limits to them. You play 9 innings and then the game's over. This game doesn't end until we say it's over. And the problem is that we could just keep running up running down the score. Just add more pain and suffering. Just keep increasing the price paid for a silly adventure that's been lived over and over and over again. Just redundantly doing the same thing over and over. Live, struggle, have maybe some moments of glory, and then usually die fairly miserably in some less than charming way. Why keep doing that over and over again? Why keep imposing, a ritual as stupid as that? So anyway, that's just been the nature of the conversation. Just keeps going to the same place of finding rationalizations and justifications, to keep piling on the expense. It's like gamblers, and they just can't leave the table. They keep saying, I'm going to win any minute. Yeah, they're at the one-armed bandit, and they figure they put so much money in that there's no way they can't win. Any minute now, it's going to pay off. Any minute now. And it's this false promise, and by the time it does hit, they'll have paid so much that it won't matter. The price paid is so much higher than the reward won. Yeah, it's just a tragic, sad, pitiful circumstance and such. So what else? Yeah, I don't know, Skeptical Heretic and Edible Napalm have been doing movie critiques, and yeah, they just seem kind of long, and you know, I guess you have to care for some reason, and I don't do that. I don't care for any reason, so it's not too fascinating. And yeah, Snake Plisskenus is just doing his contextualizing racism and feminism and all the rest of this stuff in some everyman kind of redneck philosophical glibist perspective. You know, it's just so disconnected from reality. You know, stated as if it's some profound observation that you know, there is no spoon. You know, like he's, you know, like he's letting us in on the big secret. No, there's no such thing as racism. Yeah, that's just so easy to say, and it's, you know, completely idiotic as a premise. You know, but he says shit like that, and you know, I guess people will go buy that crap. Oh yeah, it's not racism. It's really, you know, people don't like nappy hair. That's it. Yeah, you know, it's just stupid. Yeah, and you know, just a recontextualization of all the subjects is that they're about black and white. You know, ironic black and white. When, yeah, it's always more complicated than that. And he says it's more complicated than that, and yet he describes the simple parts of it. So anyway, but that brings up to describing the simple parts, breaking things down too simple. Reminds me of the Stefan Molyneux character. Might do another response video. They did a couple of rag videos on Robin Williams' death, you know, and just used them to, you know, basically blame women. You know, say it's women's fault for marrying him 3 times and causing him financial stress, and you know, it's just the same old bullshit. These guys make the contract, they get married, they cheat on the wife, which means they get a lousy divorce settlement, and then they complain, and you know, that just doesn't make any sense. If you're going to get into the contract, well, figure on you know, satisfying the contract, or don't sign the contract. You got to understand the terms of it. Yeah, you're not really allowed to make kids if you're not going to take responsibility for them. I don't know why that cat has to chase that other cat. Seems like a complete waste of time and energy. Though causing stress and harm. I mean, you didn't see that, but the cat was over here and he ran over there just to harass the other cat. And this really is stupid. But that's the animal organism. Just does a bunch of stupid shit. Yeah, that's what animals do. Stupid shit. Unlike me, who's like watering superfluous plants that serve no real function beyond, I don't know, I suppose they soothe my brain in some way, so I guess there's some way of therapy. Yeah, I suppose. Perhaps. Must be. I guess that's why I do it. Yeah, certain satisfaction in it, I suppose, until the deers eat it. So anyway, yeah, some of these flowers are, these big pink ones are really quite nice. They really are quite large, as you can see. But there's, you know, this one over here. I'm surprised that it's quite a large flower. It's kind of a nice color too. You know, just a little pale pink. No, there's 3 different varieties right in there. Red one, darker pink, and then this light pink. So it's kind of weird to have 3 different seeds have grown in that one place. So anyway, let me see anything else. Let's shut the water off. Ooh, look at the signs that there's a cucumber. I've been waiting for a good cucumber. That's a pretty fat cucumber. Color's fucked up, but good thing the deer didn't get that. Tried to, but he just missed. Yeah, cool. Yeah, the last good cucumber I had, you know, they took a bite out of it. Bastards. Anyway, yeah, this is fucked up. So he came through here, obviously, and trampled things down a bit. There's probably something else that's ruined, but I just haven't found it yet. Just, you know, really is just suck not to be able to have a garden in the Garden State. You know, I live in the Garden State, and you can't grow a garden without all this netting everywhere and shit everywhere. I mean, I'm not gonna, I mean, you know, this is really quite not bad, but it would be so much better. You know, just imagine how nice this would be if I didn't have deers eating everything. You know, but yeah, those hibiscus really are. They're having a good year. That's a pretty impressive little pile of flowers. The whole yard is flowers. Anyway, not bad. So sorry, this was just a bit of a ramble and a waste. Things will get more concise once we get a few of these shows under the belt and get these arguments really focused, and then force people to argue the arguments rather than argue the personalities. Yeah, this might get to be a little more fun. But we'll see. I mean, some people you just can't have an argument with because they just keep changing the meaning of words. Anyway, yeah, that's enough. More than enough. I'm tired now. Anyway, till next time. And such, so forth and whatnot.